Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. So, Deputy President, the chair of the Portfolio Committee on Home Affairs said here that they asked you to mediate between the Ministries of Finance and Home Affairs to find common ground on some of the issues that are contentious in this Border Management Authority bill. We're going to illustrate what those are now. So in the border law enforcement area, you've got a variety of entities and government departments that operate the Home Affairs, SAPS, Agriculture, DTI through the National Regulator of Compulsory Specifications, SARS, and a variety of other agencies that exist there in terms of regulating the entry of people and goods into South Africa and their exit, but also the collection of customs and excise duties. Now, customs and excise duties in South Africa constitute 30% of the National Revenue Fund, more than 300 billion rands. Of the 1.3 billion that is collected by SARS is collected as customs and the excise duties. Now, this BMA bill is proposing that it should enforce laws in the border enforcement law area, and that enforcement must include customs. And that is the issue that we are standing to say. It cannot be that you're going to, through proclamation of Section 97 of the Constitution, shift the powers of revenue collection from the Ministry of Finance to the Minister of Home Affairs, because that begins to balkanize. It fragments revenue collection. And I can tell you today, you will not be able, through a new agency, to collect the levels of revenue that are being collected currently within a SARS component which has got the capacity and the skill to deal with that. We do not have a problem as the EFF with the better border management authority or agency, but we can have that without the customs collection principle and processes that you're supposed to have dealt with. So those are some of the issues that you must deal with in case you succeed in removing the Guptas from the ANC, because it's them who had been saying that customs collections should be stratified, should be balkanized, so that they can have entry into the BMA and give it the direction that they will be looking into. There are lots of other issues that we can look into in terms of how the BMA is constituted, particularly in terms of how government entities are constituted. That is just going to be the commissioner and then who reports to the minister. They shouldn't necessarily, in terms of governance principles, be a board that manages a border management agency, and then a commissioner reports to that board. If you check in entities that do not have boards, majority of the times the commissioners or CEOs of those agencies, they do not have proper governance mechanisms and principles. They increase their salaries, and when they wish, they give themselves bonuses, because the only relationship they have is with a minister and without any board that has got committees to look into the functions of that particular entity. And the BMA that is being rushed now doesn't have proper governance mechanisms. It will not solve the solution. They do not provide any solution. But the most important thing that you must never do, whether you are ANC or DA or EFF, is to balkanize or fragment revenue collection in South Africa, particularly at a time when we're beginning to gain some stability. I think that we tried to knock some sense on Mr. Gigaba when he came to the first meeting of the Standing Committee on Finance, and he admitted that there must not be balkanization, but the current legislation, if we adopt it as is, gives the powers of the Minister of Home Affairs to, through the BMA, collect revenue, which is our customs and excise duties, and that is not acceptable. We must not agree on a bill that proposes such, because it's going to undermine the integrity of the revenue collection in South Africa. Thank you very much.